Hello everyone, and thank you for joining me. My name is Trittany, and I'm the reader here at the Crown and Castle Collective, where we can all be the rulers of our own kingdom that we call life. This is a pick-a-pile reading. We're gonna dive deep into who you were in your past life, your most prominent past life perhaps, right now, and who you have grown to be. So maybe what challenges, what difficult times did you face back then? Where you stood socially, in your own power, like who you really were spiritually, energetically at the time, and who you have evolved to be today. So yeah, that's kind of a way to look at it, some questions that will show up. All the timestamps are going to be down below in the comments, as they always are. Thank you guys for joining me. Everyone who's new, welcome. Everyone returning, I love you. Thank you so much for liking, commenting, and subscribing. I do live streams every so often for just really cheap, quick, no time limit, on the spot, live tarot readings. So if you subscribe and click the bell, you can be notified for those sessions. They're always a hoot, always fun. And also, I'm on other platforms as well. So all that information, all the goodies are in the description box for personalized readings. Without further ado, we have pile 1, collective number 2, collective number 3, and collective number 4. We're going to start here today, collective number 1. Okay, collective number 1, we're going to take a look at who you were in your past life and who you've grown to be today. Maybe some challenges or roles that you played in your past life. And who you've grown to be today. Let's figure out how we're going to do this. Okay. Collective number 1. This is your reading, taking a look into who you were in your past life, some challenges, some shadow work that was triggered during those lifetimes, and who have you grown to be today? How have you been facing these challenges? How are they showing up for you in this lifetime, really? So if you guys haven't already, go ahead and subscribe to my channel to be notified of when I do live readings for really cheap, no time limit tarot readings. For any questions on those live streams, they are really fun to just kind of get together and talk a little bit and answer whatever questions you guys have, really on the spot. Or you can purchase personalized readings from me, which are very specified. I take a lot of time and put a lot of love and magic and effort into the personalized readings and developing those for you guys. So thank you for everyone who has purchased those or participated in the live streams. All right, we're gonna start pile number 1. Who were you in your past life? We have Mother. It did try to come out in the reverse, so we'll see how things go here. We also have Healer. Number 17, Gratitude. Pisces, the 7 of Cups, just kind of getting a first glimpse into who you were in this past life. We also have the 10 of Cups. Okay, so in your guys' past life, you could have been a very prominent female figure. Whether you are a masculine in this life, this is, again, your most prominent past life. So this Mother card says nurturance, patience, unconditional love, joy in giving birth to life. And we also have Healer, passion to serve others by repairing the body, mind, and spirit, ability to help transform pain into healing. Now, you guys could have worked in any kind of medical field. I'm getting like a lot of nurses, a lot of doctors, physicians. Perhaps you are a natural healer in this life as well. Maybe you are a mother watching this. In your past life, you had a lot to learn about playing this role, and I feel like you, oh my gosh, a female cardinal just flew up too and landed on the feeder. Wow. Okay, so with this number 17 gratitude card is someone who's willing to give their all, someone who's very, very thankful for what they have and will give the shirt off their back to others in need. Now, this gratitude card refers to a specific character in this deck's story, and this is actually someone who was orphaned and they were forever in debt to their, family that took them in, and they were able to give their whole life for protecting this family. So I feel like that could resonate somewhat to this past life of yours, where you could have been a mother or a young child who was the motherly role of the family. Perhaps that family was missing that mother, because this healing card right next to it is that it's kind of it's a very strong divine feminine energy, but perhaps too there could have been some healing done with the relationship between you and a motherly figure. And with this Pisces card, it says spirituality to spirituality to ultimately experience. Wow, that's weird. Trusting your psychic knowledge and resulting from the indecision of or about a certain thing. So there could have been a sense that maybe you didn't quite fit into your family in this past life. Maybe you were rejected by the mother figure is what I'm getting. Or for some of you, you could have been a mother who had to give up a child, with this gratitude representing someone who's been, not necessarily abandoned, but someone who could have been orphaned, in debt as well. And with the Pisces card, it's a very emotional up and down roller coaster, honestly. There could have been a lot of healing work. I feel like in this past life of your guys's, it was very healing, no matter how hard and harsh it may have been. I'm getting a lot of feminine energies, a lot of cups as well, with the 7 of Cups and the 10 of Cups. It seems quite healthy to me that in this past life, perhaps you didn't face much challenges, but I feel like in this most prominent past life of yours, you learned a lot about family, a lot about being a mother or being more of a supported, feminine, loving, nurturing figure. And if you are a masculine in this life, these energies are just trying to incorporate perhaps into your current lifestyle, where you're learning to show up in a much more gentler way and maybe even raise daughters or women of your own, children of your own. Even if you have a son, it's knowing how to channel that inner feminine energy that is just very safe, very loving, very nurturing and supportive of any kind of creative endeavors and hopes and dreams that your child is to have. And I feel like there could have been a sense that maybe in your childhood and this life, we'll get a further look, but in your past life, you could have felt what it was like to be without a family in your younger years. And I feel like as you got older and decided to create your own family, you had a real window of opportunity to heal a lot of motherly experiences that could have been led astray in your younger years of your past life. Wow, okay, so I'm hearing too that you guys did really, really well in your past life with those challenges. This may be a lead of example if you're having any kind of difficulties with any of these figures in your life or healing relationships in your current life that maybe you could have felt neglected in some shape or form. Pisces is an indication too of any kind of substances, whether that's in taking that in any shape or form. Sorry. But we're going to go ahead and jump into who you are today, kind of fill in some gaps and see how this is coordinating with where you are right now and how you have grown into who you are today. We have Don Juan. We have King. Okay, I was getting a lot of you guys may be actual masculine energies in this life, but in your past life, a lot of it is coming through very feminine. We also have Cancer, the sign. We have the 11 of Cups, icosahedron luck. More cup energy. You guys have a lot of water signs out here, including the sign of Cancer and Pisces. You have the 7 of Cups, the 10 of Cups. We have the 11 of Cups and the 5 of Cups. Yeah, all of your tarot and a lot of your 2 astrology cards. And then we also have the Stag. Okay. For some of you in your most prominent past life, I feel like there was a lot of healing done with just parental figures in general. Now, this Mother card did come out here, but, you know, we get those same senses even from being held in our father's, our grandfather's arms. Take what resonates or apply the titles where needed. But who you are today with this Don Juan is a very fluid card to me. So maybe the identification of yourself in this life is a lot more open to expression. No matter what end of a spectrum that you're on, you feel very confident in who you are, perhaps in your sexuality or in your partnerships and in your relationships. I feel like you guys are able to really get along with people and go with the flow and allow yourself to fall in love. Perhaps you guys feel like you fall in love very easily. There's a lot of water sign energy out here, or a lot of cups. Then we also have King. So I'm still getting a lot of masculine energies. Perhaps this is you in this lifetime, really knowing your shit, really owning your shit. The light attribute says enlightened, benevolent leadership, benefiting those in your charge. Sorry. And then the Don Juan says spotlights your positive, seductive qualities. The Cancer card says intuition to protect, attitudes from the past resulting from the history of. The 11 of Cups is the Page of Cups with the 5 of Cups vision. So I feel as if in your past life you guys were a little bit more standoffish with your own emotions. I feel as if this Gratitude card, for some reason for me, is a very hard external card, but it's not too dense either. In this life, you guys could be a little bit harder on yourself in love as well. I feel like a lot of you guys don't like the feeling of any kind of rejection or heartbreak. I mean, who does naturally? But that could be a very big fear of yours today, is having any kind of romantic interest in anyone and not wanting to relive the sense of rejection or abandonment, or having to start a relationship and then worrying about how it can go wrong. I feel like that is a very big part of your worries today, is questioning the solidarity of the connection. Because with this King in the Don Juan is a very, you know, side to side, someone who might do a two-step on you and walk out the door, whereas the King is someone who is very stable. So you could always really worry about infidelity or people behind your back. But I'm getting that's really all in your head. The Five of Cups vision. This could be something that you've seen already before in your lifetime or experienced, but it's almost like you're running it through your mind's eye over and over again. And so it's hard for you to move past this challenge. In number 8, the stag came through here. If we look at the number 8 sideways, it is the infinity symbol. So this is an emotional challenge I feel like you guys have been working on through multiple lifetimes, having to do with certain kind of parental abandonment, perhaps, and being afraid to see that in your own relationships, how people may want to just take advantage of your kindness. This is the Seven of Cups and how you were appearing socially in your past lives. And this is someone who receives a lot of attention, but also this could be someone who you serve and wait hand and foot on, someone who could be taking advantage of you and your healing abilities. But I don't feel like as if you were really taken advantage of in your past life. I think this is just serving as a really good example where you may have had a very harsh childhood upbringing. Maybe you were orphaned. Maybe you grew up in a different background of family where you didn't quite fit in. But at the end of the day, you knew that you were loved. You knew that you were accepted. And we have the Ten of Cups here, which is the ultimate happiness and fulfillment, highest of the suit. It's very smooth, developed, very watery. And I feel like it ends on a good note. Now here, moving along through your life in this current lifetime, it seems like you're experiencing the energies on a more masculine side of things. So this could have to do more with like a father or masculine energies in general. How you may feel towards your own intimate and personal relationships. You could always worry about I feel like you guys in this life just give and give and give and are finally now learning how to really stand your ground and to be confident in yourself with or without other people or certain people in your lifetime, people that may have decided to pursue other romantic or personal agendas and to leave you standing in your own power. I feel like the people that you may have lost in this lifetime or people who have had this fallout with you are just naturally, energetically being shifted out for what no longer serves you. And a lot of this is coming from, with this Cancer card, resulting from the history of perhaps even like family emotions or picking up tendencies of dealing with your emotions, like how your current family does things, or how you notice that your current family expresses their emotions. Sorry, that's the message I was trying to get out. It could be harder for you in this lifetime to express your gratitude and express your love and compassion for your friends, your family, those closest to you. Because you could feel a little bit stuck in your own power or maybe not wanting to give up a certain part of yourself because you could be afraid to kind of let go of, not necessarily the control, but the need of having to know what's going to happen next. And in this past life, I'm getting that none of this really happened very fast. I'm getting there were a lot of years perhaps before any of this kind of family dynamic was, the indebtedness was paid off, so to say. I'm getting a lot more air sign energies in the past life. Gemini, Libras, and Aquarius. More water here in the lower. Scorpio, Cancers, and Pisces. So for some of you too, I'm getting where maybe you could have certain interests that certain family figures do not approve of. And you're learning how to move past needing certain people's approval and learning how to be in your own energies. Because in your past life, I feel like you could have really beat yourself up if you weren't quite... Even if you were born from that same family, you could feel like you energetically don't fit in. And that can have you kind of go your own way or your own separate way, but ultimately realizing just how important this support system in this family is and how much they loved and appreciated you and vice versa. So in this life, that could be something that you're still working through with any kind of family members. There could be a lot of acceptance being worked on. This is showing me a prime example of a past life where you successfully healed through those energies over the course of a lifetime, and that these energies are still being worked on here today on some sort of scale. So I hope this resonated with you guys, pile number 1. If it did, please let me know in the comments. Give the video a like or subscribe to see on what videos I post next. This one was top voted, so if you do subscribe on my community page, you can vote on what videos get posted next. So thank you everyone for watching me, and I will see you next time. Hello, collective number 2. This is your reading. We're going to take a look at who you were in your past life and who you are today, how you've grown, who you've become, who you have evolved spiritually into. I don't remember how I just did this. All right. I guess we'll just scoop these on down. Alright, collective number 2. This is your reading. We're going to take a look at who you were in your past life, your most prominent past life currently, and who you are today, who you've grown to be, who you have spiritually evolved into. So if you guys haven't already, go ahead and subscribe to my channel and click the bell to be notified about when I do my live streams. I do really cheap, on-the-spot live tarot readings for whatever questions you guys have at hand. There's no time limits on those, so we just kind of chat things out and get a resolution for your question. Now, if you want to buy a very in-depth, curated, personalized readings, all of those are linked in my description box with all of the goodies. And thank you guys for joining me. So, collective number 2, who were you guys in your past life? We have warrior. And we also have the knight. Okay, so you guys are my fighters. My ride or dies so far with warrior, strength, skill, discipline, and toughness of will, heroism, stoicism, and self-sacrifice in conquering the ego. Warrior. And then we also have knight, loyalty, romance, and chivalry, a love of honor. You guys could have definitely served in any kind of militia, military, any kind of guard, knights, tribe. We also have number 13, greed, which is a very expansive Sagittarius kind of energy here. Now it says greed, and this is about overreaching or overworking yourself and your boundaries. Now this is someone who's also willing to go the extra mile, someone who's always looking for the next adventure, always conquering and moving on. Now take that for what it's worth. In your past life, you could have fended off from invaders, or you could have been the invader yourself. We all play certain roles. That's why we're here to learn from history, right? The greed card is someone who's always willing to push themselves and also, necessarily follow directions. So I see you guys really working on the masculine energy so far. And then we have the North Node. So the North Node talks about a green light per se. The North Node talks... Bleh. I don't know why I keep repeating myself, you guys. The North Node and the South Node pertain to the moon, but in this case, the North Node gives us a green light. So you could probably not know your boundaries in your past life. I feel like you really pushed yourself beyond your limits. You were always vigorous, willing to stand up for someone. Your words and your actions meant a lot to you, and you were always someone who fulfilled their promises and repaid their debts. Good karma was built up in this lifetime. And we also have the Wheel card. So... I feel like you guys were, I'm hearing too, just following orders. So this could have been a very routine lifestyle that you lived in this past life that taught you a lot about structure and patience. The chivalry card is, maybe you guys had really good manners as well. Even though you were someone who was very brute and tough and strong. Definitely attractive in your past life. We also have number 14 in this deck. I believe this is the Death card. So Scorpio energies here. For some of you in this lifetime, you guys could have passed on at a very young age, where you still had so much in front of you. Maybe you were looking forward to your whole life with this greed card. Perhaps it wasn't in a negative fashion, but maybe you were always wanting and inspiring for more to manifest in your life and your accomplishments. And I feel like you guys had a very bright path ahead of you, but perhaps that path did lead into battle per se. Just the way it works, we see it all throughout history. But that's just because how much your word and your honor meant to you, that you were willing to go and serve your life for the people that you loved and you cared about and were wanting to protect. So it's a very strong, honorable energy. So how is this pertaining to really who you are today? And how has this taught you to grow? Oh my gosh, we have the Queen card out here. The light attribute says radiates the regal feminine, uses her benevolent authority to protect others. So maybe you guys are like, yeah, I have all this rage inside me, but I'm definitely not gonna step out and throw hands or anything. In this life, you may be more keen on the facts, the delivery, the thought and process that goes behind all of the plots and the plans and all of these courses of action. You guys have a lot of high intuition, authority, respect. I'm getting you guys are very emotionally refined and smart. So it's almost like in this past life, you were more of the boots on the ground. In this life, you're becoming more of the one who's, maybe not necessarily pulling the strings, but you're the voice inside of the ear of whoever may be running the show. Let's kind of get a look. We also have slave out here, surrendering your power of choice to the divine with complete trust. Wow. Even in your past lives, I'm getting you could have played a lot of masculine roles or masculine energies. In this life, we're seeing a lot more reds, browns, blush colors. You could be more of a feminine energy in this life. Now, if you're defining yourself as a masculine energy, this is absolutely okay. Now, the queen and slave go kind of hand in hand, where maybe you're just kind of, oh my god, how I was saying the puppet on the string, and she's literally being a puppet, like being played. Oh my god, you can't make this stuff up. We're gonna get a couple more cards here to go off of this. We also have the Sun, which is Leo energy. It says demonstrate, realize, act like a leader. You guys, I feel like you either socially, maybe because of your age, or just the society that your past life was embedded in, you no longer have a lot of those restrictions, and you are growing from a knight all the way up into a queen, okay? So for some of you, this is a life that you would have loved to live. But a certain part of you can still feel like you're not able to reach your full potential, or that people still don't take you as serious as you would like to be perceived. But I feel like the things that you're saying, the things that you're doing, have a lot of value behind them, and someone's going to recognize this within you as well. If you haven't seen that within yourself, you're a slave to your own mind. People definitely see you as a leader now, and you could still have this very strong divine masculine energy push behind who you are today, that you're willing to go the certain length for those that you're willing to fight for, and that you know that the cycles of life and death and rebirth, that you're not afraid to let go and let fate and destiny, the divine, pull you in the direction that is needed. We also have the Page of Stones, or the Page of Pentacles, the links. Page energy is a little bit younger, so I feel like you guys could still be in the younger prime years of your life. And if you're, feeling like you're a little bit on the... So we have the Page of Stones, or the Page of Pentacles, which is a younger energy typically. And I feel like a lot of you guys are just getting started on either leading a business, leading your own small business, where maybe you don't want to be a slave to the 9 to 5, the everyday life. You want to burn at your own brightness and burn at your own pace and draw a lot of attention and spotlight on your own energies. I feel like in your past lives, you didn't receive much recognition while you were alive, so to say. I mean, you could have, just because, this Knight card is someone who's, typically high honor, respected, someone who's really well known. And with Warrior card, you're a really good fighter, so typically people know about them. But I feel as if it's still a little bit more behind the shadows. A little bit more assassination energies. Perhaps people didn't even know of your passing either, which could make you feel sad, honestly. In this life, I feel like you're still missing that recognition with the Queen and the Slave, of how committed you can be to other people, to yourself, and to certain energies and you're willing to invest yourself in those day after day. With the Page of Stones is someone who has patience, persistence. It's a very sneaky, strategic card as well. You guys could be really good at brain games, chess, card games, anything with strategy, numbers, remembering facts. Then we also have the Six of Swords, disguise. And the 11 of Pentacles, or the Page of Pentacles, Page of Stones again. So we have that out here twice, a very slow moving energy. Someone who's always learning and investing themselves into new projects, new ideas, always kind of picking their brain and getting the really fine details, having a good understanding of everything that's going on in and around them. I feel like you guys could be afraid to be in the spotlight. Where maybe, you know, you like to be really close to the top, but you don't like to be the one having to pull the trigger, so to say. So you have all of these really good ideas and investments, and I feel like you just want to be someone who's able to remotely share those ideas with others with the Six of Swords, the disguise card. I'm getting that you guys are a natural born leader. There could be, you know, some kind of fear of having to fire certain people, like if you decide to step into a new position where you could be in charge of releasing new people. Maybe you feel like even that you're not being respected, or that maybe you're not being compensated appropriately because of how much you invest into either your corporation, your job, your education. Maybe you have a degree that you haven't even found a job in, and that you're just really feeling like you have to wear a mask or like fake it until you make it, or pretend to be someone that you aren't in order to finally be accepted or be recognized. I feel like in your past life, you guys could have been driven with this greed card and all of this very strong divine masculine energy. It could have been balanced, but I kind of feel like it's like a blind following, so to say, that maybe you were in it for a lot of the adrenaline, for the money, or for being noticed and whatnot, that you could have blindly followed, or maybe because you didn't have any other choice, or it would just be death, really. Something that you couldn't really escape, something that you were either born into, placed into, that there was no turning back, so you set your sights forward in just full force. Now, in this life, you have those same potentials, but they are being influenced by more feminine qualities, or feminine energies, I should say, that allow you to go at a much slower pace with these processes. That once you hold on to something, and once you set your intentions and your goals, you ultimately work yourself to the bone. So just be careful that you guys aren't overworking or overextending yourself. The Sun card is something that can burn bright, but it can burn out fast as well. And the Page of Stones out here twice is a very, very hard message to slow things down with yourself. Good things come to those who wait, especially if you're feeling unrecognized, unappreciated. I feel like you guys are, well, my voice. I feel like you guys are painting yourself. And it's funny because I'm getting the same character, but it's starting to paint itself in a more approachable, not necessarily even approachable, but you're finally starting to break out of your shell, where maybe since you had no control in any of your past lives, that in this life it's important for you to maintain a certain level of authority and respect that can come off a little bit harsh, maybe because we do have the Leo energy here, so just be careful of trying to be vain or trying to draw too much into yourself from an unauthentic space with this Six of Arrows disguise, that you're not just trying to blend in, and that you're not just trying to wear a mask for the sake of feeling valued and entertaining or worth anything. You're starting to find your true self-worth in your power to pursue your own hopes and dreams, even to the extent of your own detriment. So work that energy for yourself and no one else. And try not to be too harsh or too expecting of those around you to put in that same level of effort into their work. Because if they're not even meeting you at your level, then no one's gonna even remember or recognize them if they're not, making a name for themselves like I feel like you are trying to do. So I hope that resonated with you guys. Pile number 2, best luck and best wishes to developing these energies into who you are today. So thank you for watching. If this video resonated with you at any point in time, please let me know down in the comments. They give me chills. I love to read them. If you also subscribe to my channel, this is the top voted video on my community page where you can vote on what videos I post next. So thank you all for joining me, and I will see you next time. Hello, collective number 3. We're going to take a look at who you were in your past life and who you have grown to be today, your most prominent past life lessons, and what's kind of going on there. If you feel like this video resonates with you anywhere throughout, give the video a like, or in the comments, let me know what's resonating with you. I love to read them. They do give me goosebumps and chills. Thank you for everyone who has subscribed to my channel and participated on my community page. This video was top voted, so if you subscribe, you can vote on what topics of videos I do next. Ultimately, like getting a free general reading. So without further ado, collective number 3, who were you in your past life? We have God, okay. Benevolence and compassion, recognizing the eternal force within yourself and others. This is a very high profile, very highly recognized and appreciated card, a very religious card. So perhaps spirituality and religion could have meant the most to you in your most prominent past life that we're taking a look at. And so, of course, that could still mean a lot to you today. Ooh, we also have Gambler. Willingness to follow intuition even when others doubt you. So with this God and Gambler card, you guys could have really taken a risk with your beliefs at the time. Maybe they were very unconventional. Your mind was fond to wandering beyond the social limits. And perhaps even for some of you, I'm getting that maybe you could have had issues with gambling or any kind of certain addictions that could have really coincided and intermingled with your connection to God, source, and spirit, could have led you to those paths, and it could have really went hand in hand as far as reaching for help and whatnot. We also have number 3, desire. Okay, so this is painting a very clear picture. You guys wanted more from the life that you had, in the world that you lived in at the time. This desire card talks about actually, if you were a feminine energy in this past life, as it's coming through, this is someone who outstands the social norm and can be seen as a she-devil. Now, in this particular deck, this particular character, she was half woman, half demon, and she plotted out to go and assassinate someone, but as she was assassinating them, she was actually struck by Cupid's bow and fell deeply in love with them. So you guys could have been a fierce lover in your past life, but you always wanted more for yourself, for others, and I feel like you were willing to risk it all. Now, this could have been to your own detriment, but it could also be to your own benefit as well, with God blessing you here. Perhaps you stumbled upon a few good rounds that supported you financially. I don't know why I said rounds. I was thinking of like gambling rounds. I don't know. Now, also, if you're wondering, this character's name is Hidimba, if I'm pronouncing it correct. We also have the Moon card. So very much in tune with this desire, feminine qualities, testing the social norms, being a little bit mysterious and troublesome, if you will, but yet having a good shoulder and good intentions, a good head on your shoulders and good intentions in your heart. The Moon card says to defend or to accept, letting your feelings tell you how to live your life, essentially. And I feel like you guys were very intuitive, very much in touch with your higher self, God, source, or spirit in this past life. Now, this could be the most prominent display of maybe certain qualities that you are reaching for in your current life, which we'll take a look into. But these are very, very strong Scorpio feminine energies coming through. We also have the Ace of Stones, the foundation of life, and the Nine of Swords out here. So this is how you're being perceived publicly, and it's not quite in the best interest. It seems like he's almost even getting decapitated, but he was definitely not the only one. Now, in your past life, you could have, in that case, been decapitated. So that could explain a lot of, chronic neck pains or any kind of situations like that. I'm not a doctor, but these are traumas that we can carry with us for, lifetimes. And with this Ace of Stones, okay, so none of us are perfect, and perhaps in this past life you could have gambled beyond your extent. So maybe you could have been in debt and got whacked off, is what I'm hearing. For some of you, someone could have even owned you in this past life or sold you off with this Ace of Pentacles and the Nine of Swords. This is kind of just being forced to do something that perhaps you're not as willing to participate. So even in this past life, your family or the people around you could have pushed you into a certain lifestyle or certain family that maybe you had no intentions of joining. A lot of you, I'm hearing, even put your own life at risk with this Gambler card and the God card. Maybe you stood up to a certain church, clergy figure, or anything like that, or any kind of ruler or government at the time, and really went on your own intuition of what was right and wrong. And that had a lot of strength, and it had a lot of value in it with the Ace of Stones, that you were willing to stand your ground with the words and actions that you said and did, to where I feel like when you passed in this lifetime, you weren't the only one as well being persecuted, whether it was a whole building siege or if it was, you and your family, you and your friends, your co-workers, your secret society. I don't know what you guys intermingled yourself in with this gambler card, but very dark and seductive. A lot of behind the scenes kind of energy in this past life. Okay, we're gonna take a look into how this is affecting your current life and, you know, how you have grown through these energies. You're showing up as the Thief card and also the Samaritan. Wow, okay, whoa. So, Thief sheds light on the potential wealth within you that can never be stolen. And I feel like you guys could have very well been robbed a lot in this past life, taken advantage of, because of this Desire card. People could have always lusted after you, or you were a very beautiful figure of your time. But with this gambler card, I don't know. I feel like you guys kind of got yourself into some trouble, maybe some money issues. Now, in this lifetime, the Thief card and the Samaritan says, refines your capacity to help those you would prefer to ignore. I'm getting almost like good cop, bad cop energy. I don't know. But you guys are willing to stick up now for the small guy, or like the underdog, and protect people from being taken advantage of. In your early childhood, I feel like you could have went through these cycles, or maybe you used to steal as a young child, but it was out of a much different mental state than where you were in this past life. So it's being approached differently, but I feel like you guys could have been a little bit of trouble in your youthful years and then grew up to want to give back to other people, to want to help other people, because you see, I'm just going to skim over that, but I lost the message. But we also have the 6th house as a full-time job, serving, do it a little at a time. These cards pair up fabulously, and this is why I would love to shuffle on camera, because it blows my mind every single time. The 6th house represents our work, our full-time jobs, part-time jobs, also the house where we serve other people. Now, this could be small business as well. This isn't really being a cog in the machine. It's more of being of service, whether that's in any kind of industry where you come into more contact, so to say. Let's see what else. This is a little bit, there's a lot of shadow aspects going on here too, because the 6th house is kind of secretive. It's more of the behind the scenes work that you do in your relationships with things that can work for or against you in your workplace. For some of you, you're having to work with really difficult coworkers, really difficult bosses or figures of authority. It's really, really challenging for you in your past life. I feel like you stood right up to that and, you know, spoke your ground, how you were feeling, what you wanted to see, really voiced your vocal opinions about your emotions with the Moon card. That could have risked, you know, life or death. Back then it was really hard to speak our minds and speak up against certain kind of social norms. But in this life, you're taking back that power, and you know, you're gonna play by their rules this time. It's almost, I'm hearing it's like an inside job. We also have number 14, balance. Oh, this is just talking about that hot and cold polarity energy, having to meet up with each other, having to come to peace and work together. A lot of difficult tension, either in your very close personal relationships with either family, friends, or intimate relationships, mostly with your 6th house being here, with people that you serve. Take that as it resonates. We have the 8 of Swords, deception, and the 8 of Wands, the 8 of Fire, and also the Ace of Wands, or Ace of Fire, memory. So deception and memory. Something's not being looked at correctly. I feel like in your past life, you could have really hit the end being persecuted, in some shape or form. And so in this life, there may be a little bit of hostility between big government or big pharma, stuff like that. And so you're trying to figure out how to be at peace with these people or these groups. Now, this could have to do with social cliques, so to say, or social groups and levels of society. So maybe you always stole only from big corporations, never from local owned. It's almost like a Robin Hood sense of self, but it's almost like you could be trying to justify these feelings in your thoughts in your head about maybe why you have such strong feelings towards wanting something or wanting a certain change. And that's because you could have past life memories of trying to accomplish the same thing, or maybe in the past life you were just starting to speak out and stand up against the very first steps towards the battle, towards the ultimate enemy, so to say, or whatever it is that you're trying to harmonize and resolve within any kind of workforce, society, or group, communal. With the Samaritan card, it's kind of like the Good Samaritan who catches all the pickpocketers. So I feel like you guys, in your past life, it was a little bit more rough around the edges, but very, very pure, sensual energy in your heart, that you had such strong passions that you were willing to take the knife for it even. But you wanted to share this idea and these inspirations, these gems that you had for life, or pockets of knowledge that were worth sharing, but you kind of risked a lot with it. And these messages and these pushes towards action were truly heaven sent to you at the time, and you listened to them. Now, in this lifetime, it's appearing more, it's almost as if your fire has been fueled even more, that things are a little bit more harsh in this lifetime, even towards the topic at hand. Maybe it's not so black and white as it was before. Now there's all these little details, all these steps and processes that you have to take, and maybe the enemies are much larger now, or the groups. This is so weird. I don't know. I don't want to say enemies because, I don't feel like your job in this lifetime is to, take anything down, really. But I think that you're supposed to come into more of service and into more balance of support. There's more of a support group this time, is what I'm hearing. a lot of sense of passion, a lot of fire sign energies here. So you guys have a true love for your careers, whatever it is that you do, your hobbies. You put a lot of hard work and effort, creativity into these endeavors, and I feel like it's able to come back to you abundantly in the course of this lifetime. And I feel as if you guys see this potential within yourself in a new light that you feel had been taken away from you. Maybe someone did so, or socially you felt like you weren't able to be in a certain group or certain crowd or clique, perhaps. Or that you weren't qualified for a certain job, you just didn't really fit the position. And for some of you, I feel as if, you know that you're not meant to be in that place, and you may choose to remove yourself. For some of you, I'm hearing it's not going to be peacefully. Maybe there's a few things that you're upset about, or a few people you're dissatisfied with. You're looking for a certain kind of change, maybe certain kind of compensation. All right, well, I hope that resonated with you guys. Collective number 3 was a little bit different. If it resonated with you, please let me know down in the comments. I'd love to read them. And if you like the video and subscribe, you can actually vote on what videos I post next. This one was top voted, so thank you for everyone who participated in that poll. And I believe that's everything. So thank you guys. I will see you all next time. Hello, collective number 4. This is your reading. We're going to take a look at who you were in your past life and who you are today. If you just saw out there, the bunny just totally chased off the squirrel. Ooh, that bunny just stood up to the squirrel. I've never seen a squirrel back down from a bunny all scared like that. Oh, he's coming back. Can they live in peace? They can. They are munching apart from each other. I don't know if it's too bright for you to see. It actually might be. But anyways, we're going to move on. Quite interesting. So, collective number 4. All the goodies are in my description box for personal readings, where to find me everywhere. If you do subscribe to my channel, on my community page, you can vote on what video I post next. This one was top voted, so thank you for everyone who participated in that poll. I'm excited for collective number 4. Who were you in your past life? We have hero, heroine, however you say that. We also have virgin out here. Okay. So the hero, heroine says, heroine, whatever, says passion for a journey of personal empowerment. With the virgin card stating maintaining symbolic purity of heart and spirit. Sorry, I'm kind of stuttering. After so many piles, I just start to feel like my mouth is made of Play-Doh. So there's a strong energy here of Joan of Arc, and this has been very prominent astrologically lately. So you guys could have been a young woman in your past life, perhaps that could have been shortly lived. We're gonna take a look here. We have number 27, gift, adds up to a 9. And we also have Scorpio sign energies here. Okay. Very, very balanced between masculine and feminine. I'm kind of getting like Arya Stark energy, if you've watched Game of Thrones. Now, the gift card is actually a sign of a miracle. So you guys could have very well been a miracle baby or lost a parent during the process. With the Scorpio card here, it's a little bit darker. The cycles of life and death, purification to resurrect the secrets resulting from power. You guys could have been in a very prominent household in your past life. We have the Six of Cups, or the Six of Vessels, reunion. And the Five of Cups. So. This gift card talks of, it's built off the storyline in this book. And this deck talks of a miracle baby being born that she is forced to actually give up and abandon in fear of what society may think of the child and the shame that she may endure. So a lot of you guys could have had to give your life for your own child. That's a very strong message. And a lot of you would do it all over again. You know, for those of you who do have children, I feel like that you would do this in a heartbeat. But a lot of you guys stood up for a lot of younger energies or younger souls. I'm getting a very strong parental figure here. And perhaps you weren't the most perfect figure of them all. This is how society was viewing you, as the Five of Cups. In this case, you know, society may have seen you as someone who was a drunk, lazy, unmotivated, but really you have such a very strong divine sense and presence. I feel like you were portrayed probably not in the correct light. With this Virgin card, all I can think of is the Virgin Mary and how she too was also probably, you know, shunned and whatnot for being pregnant, but yet still a virgin. A lot of that is coming through here. So there could have been a storyline behind that, where maybe you did have a child that was not of your own choice. I still feel a sense of acceptance here, though. For some of you, I'm getting, you could have been a lot of religious roles, like a nun or someone who is celibate or whatever and refrains from engaging in sexual activities. For all of these piles, I seem to be getting, like, in your past lives, I'm getting really good examples of lives where we excelled at certain challenges. And in this life, I feel like you could have prioritized a certain development of consciousness and being close to God or spirit, because this says passion for a journey of personal empowerment. I'm getting like a spiritual retreat kind of energy, and the Six of Vessels, the reunion card, is being apart for such a long time but finally coming back together. Soulmate energies. You guys really had in your past life publicly, you know, I feel like perhaps it's even the other way around, because we have the heroine card coming out here. People really respected you and your honesty and your purity with the Virgin card. A lot of people respected what you had to say, and there is a lot of Scorpio energy. Oof. But anyways, the way that you appeared to public perhaps could even be, you know, a fine figure. But at the end of the day, I feel like there's a lot of dark secrets that you could have faced. A lot of demons in your closets or skeletons in your closets. And that is the Scorpio energy here. So perhaps in your past life, you didn't feel, I feel like there's a sense where maybe you guys didn't feel not necessarily worthy, but that you weren't as good of a person as everyone else was perceiving you to be. But like, you knew that you were a good person in this past life, but there is a sense of not quite believing in your true potentials and your powers. And I feel like in this past life, you guys could have missed out on a lot of gifts and opportunities, because I feel like some of you could have been afraid to step up to certain challenges that required a certain level of courage or of challenge and change. We're going to take a look into who you are in this life to kind of fill in the gaps. We have the servant, delight in serving others with a free and loving heart. We also have teacher, ability to communicate knowledge, experience, skill, or wisdom. And we also have Pluto, to resurrect, get to the heart of issues, do or die. You must do something. It's kind of a black and white energy, so to say. So in this life, with the servant and teacher, I feel like in your past life, this really strong example, you could have been someone who dedicated your life to a certain person, idol, or thing, with the Virgin card and the Hero Heroine card. You could have pledged yourself to certain someone or things. And in this lifetime, there's a lot of giving back, but also the servant and teacher is almost like a teacher-student vibe, so to say, if you will. It's almost like you're able to take your own advice. I feel like in your past life, you really struggled with practicing what you were preaching with this Five of Cups. This honor and also this commitment. There's a lot of committal energies coming through here. Has taught you how to give to others without overextending yourself. And you're open to a lot more surprises in this lifetime than you were in previous ones. I feel like you were very rigid, but very determined and focused. But with the Scorpio card, can be a little bit stubborn as well, that you weren't as open to changes or shifts in perspective. And that could have been really hard on you and hard for you to emotionally deal with throughout your past life, especially if there was any shame from early childhood years in your past life. I feel like there could have been something that was done back alley or something that wasn't quite known about, and as you had gotten older, it's just something that you hid for your whole life. I feel like it's a secret that you had to carry to your grave that could have worn on you quite a bit. And I do feel as if there was a lot of material foundation in this life, the past life, and here in your current life. Now the Servant card came out here, and I'm going to read the shadow attribute. It says, using the lack of money as an excuse to not move forward with life. Now that could have been something that, a lesson that you had to learn with the Teacher card at a young age. Perhaps you had to deal with certain kind of social statuses, or how to overcome those certain challenges. With the Pluto here in the Five of Bows, empowerment is a breakthrough, really owning up to your own power, standing in your own individual self. Do you see those squirrels above the card right now? Oh my gosh, too cute. There's a real sense of confidence in this life, and I feel like in your past life you projected it outwardly. You projected your confidence with your committal energies, but I feel like you were only confident in what you were doing because it was something that was highly expected of you, and you may not have coped with it in the most healthy ways behind the scenes. Now in this life, I feel like you've already started to move past certain self-limiting hurdles or fear of, you know, maybe what your friends or people your age would think of you. That you're not trying to please everyone in this lifetime. There's a sense of prioritizing, empowering your own energy, and, you know, wearing your heart on your sleeve even. We have the 11 of Swords, or the 11 of Air, the Page of Air, Octahedron Luck. And we also have the 7 of Cups, Reality. So the Page of Swords is a younger, progressive, very smart, insightful individual. Someone who learns from their lessons and learns very quickly. And with the 7 of Cups, Reality here, you're very, very intuitive. And in your past life, I could sense that there could be some avoidance with, oh my gosh, there's a bunny right down here too. You can't see because I'm like, oh my gosh. Be careful in this life not to reach for any kinds of substances to mask anything, because in your past life, I feel like that was one of your biggest downfalls as well. But you guys are extraordinarily down to earth. You guys could be very, very good teachers because you learn from your experiences. And I feel like you guys get taught a lot of difficult lessons in your past lives where it wasn't just so easy to do certain things, and it wasn't, again, there wasn't such black and white. There's a lot more details. And in this life, I feel as if you're more motivated to practice what you're preaching and challenge and question what is being taught to you. For a lot of you in your past life, I'm getting that there is a sense of loss when it comes to family. Perhaps you were separated from your family as a child, or you experienced that loss yourself. I'm getting there's a really strong counselor or like public speaker energy coming through for your current lifetime, where if you've been through any kind of hardships or any kind of significant life events, sharing those experiences and the lessons that they have taught you can help you emotionally heal from any kind of shame, guilt, or blame that you placed on yourself in the past lives that you lived, where you may have fallen short from certain expectations that were made for you. I'm also hearing child prodigy in this past life, or like any kind of title that you were given and something happened that stripped you of that respect and that recognition.